This week on Thomas Talk, we are away from the green screen and we are talking about our secret lives of Thomas the Tank Engine. Hello and welcome to Thomas Talk. I'm your host, Josh. This week I thought that I would change it up a little bit, give a bit of a different background, especially since we don't need the green screen this episode. I'm just going to be talking solely about Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, one thing that I've had to face my entire life is being a fan of Thomas the Tank Engine. And when I joined the Thomas the Tank Engine Wikia forums, I read a post called Our Lives with Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, for anyone who doesn't know me that well and they just hear that, oh, you still watch Thomas the Tank Engine, it may seem a little over the top or weird or anything. So I want to tackle that issue a little bit. One thing is definitely that we all have our own interests, and I don't have to agree with everything that you like and watch, so I don't see why you have to agree with everything that I like and watch. I've always been very open about me liking Thomas and trains and everything. It did help in part of my elementary school life and not having a whole ton of friends behind me. But now I go to a school where everyone's really accepting of it and no one really cares, and I have lots of friends. An important thing for you to remember if you like Thomas and people are making fun of you for it, don't feel ashamed for it. It is their problem. It is not yours. What you really have to focus on is finding those people who are accepting of it and finding those people who are your friends. Even if they're on the internet, at least you have someone you can talk to and someone you can relate to, because that is what's really helpful. I've never been ashamed of liking Thomas. I've had it through my entire life and has helped me through some times that I've needed it the most. And it's made me who I am today, and it's introduced me to this amazing world and this amazing community. So I think we all just have to realize that there's nothing to be ashamed of. We also have to realize that the production crew of the show is heavily interested in the older fan base of the show, and they do add in lots of different references. Of course, the target audience is for toddlers and everything, but they add in so much for us, and that really amazes me, all the stuff they add in to please us. Also, when I visited ARC Productions in 2013, something that blew me away, and something that blew my mom away even, was that all these grown adults loved Thomas just as much as I did, and knew it as much as I did. And they were making a living off of creating it and working for the show, and ever since then my mom's been fully supportive of my obsession with Thomas the Tank Engine. So when people ask you if you watch Thomas the Tank Engine and they say, oh, isn't that a baby's show? Well, I don't think of it as a baby's show. I think of it as just a TV show. It was written also for the parents who had to read the stories, and they actually throw in a lot for the adult fan base, so I don't think of it as a baby's show. It is directed to toddler, that is their main audience, but we are also an audience too that they really take feedback from, so we have to be proud of that. Anyways, that's just my little spiel on our secret lives of Thomas the Tank Engine. Lots of people keep it secret. I'm very open about it. And you know what? It's just about finding those people who will be accepting of it. And those people who aren't accepting of it, well, they'll mean nothing to you, and they'll mean nothing to the rest of the world in the future. So just keep loving what you love and keep watching what you love watching, and just live your life the way you want to live it and not the way that other people want you to live it. Anyways, that wraps up this week's episode of Thomas Talk. Now it's time for community question. Last week's community question was, what is your favorite Railway Series adapted episode? This week's community question is, what is the episode of Thomas the Tank Engine that has helped you the most? Anyways, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Thomas Talk, and we'll see you all next time.